What's up guys, the main man here. Hope you're all doing well. Before I get started, let's take a look at a video together. Have you ever had that happen to you? You probably have seen that before, and that's the Hwoarang we all love, you know, doing a flurry of kicks, standing on one leg, known as flamingo, and just dishing out, you know, insane pressure, and most of us just go, "Aah!" You know, we get really annoyed by this, and everyone has eaten this, you know, even the best players in the world, like JDCR, he's gonna get flamingo raped from time to time, and it happens, and it's super annoying. But I'm going to try and explain to you today how to deal with the basics of this and why Hwoarang isn't as scrub friendly as you think. He isn't that bullshit if you just know a couple of things. So I am going to head into practice mode here, defensive training with Hwoarang. So why is Hwoarang not that much bullshit? He can pressure you like crazy, you know, this kind of stuff. You've seen it, you know. You've seen it 1,000 times. But he's bad at dealing with his own medicine, because he has some okay panic moves, you know, for people who pressure him, you know, in return. Like Steve pressuring Hwoarang, but his panic moves aren't that good, you know. Like Capo, he has a back 2, but his is not mid, it's high. So if people do crushing moves like this, this is just going to whiff completely, and actually, just like the Capo back 2, his back 2 is completely safe, actually. So that's a good thing. And just like the Capo back 2, he steps to the side. But if we would want to do like a Capo back 2, note here that Kazuya's jab follows Hwoarang in his step. So this wouldn't happen with the Capo back 2. So I'm just trying to say that the evasive properties on Hwoarang's back 2, they are not that good. And look at that. We know that he's stepping in the right direction here to evade Kazuya's electric. You know, Kazuya's weak side is sidestep left. But the electric hits here. So, and of course, as I said, if you pressure him with these types of moves, crushing moves, it's just not going to work. I just find the evasive property to be quite bad, but of course, it launches on counter hit. So it's a good move in that sense. But yeah, it's just not on a fantastic evasive move. And he has this, up back 4, which does a small chunk of damage. It's kind of slow, but he jumps backwards, so pretty okay, you'd say. But if he's being pressured by a character like Steve, you'll probably see a lot of jabs, and what happens then? Just like a hop kick, he is launched. So yeah, not the best option in the world in my opinion. And advanced Hwoarang players who are being pressured by low attacks, they might go for this, a delayed hop kick. But it's slow and it has the same weakness, you can get jabbed out of it. Same for this move, it's just slow. So, in my opinion, Hwoarang is weak against pressure, being pressured in return. So if you're playing against Hwoarang, try to pressure him a lot. And I also want to actually say, spam Snake Edge, those types of moves. If you're playing a Mishima, go with Hell Sweeps all the time. And why would I say this? It's because most average Hwoarang players, we're going to pressure you, we're going to punish you with this. He has no easy while standing launcher. You know, they'll do this, and that's not going to scare me from doing Snake Edge or Hell Sweep, only 40 damage in return, if he actually blocks it. Or we'll do while standing forward 4, into frame advantage, where we can pressure, but again, just not that scary in my opinion. But of course, if you're facing an advanced Hwoarang player, he's going to do this. He's gonna crouch cancel your ass and launch you. But if you see someone do this, it's a technical Hwoarang player, you know. It's not the average Hwoarang player you're going to run in green ranks and yellow ranks. So yeah, I would say spam away if you're at those ranks. And if he starts doing this, yeah, you're going to have to be on your guard and not do that stuff. And of course the flamingo step. A flamingo step. It's like I'm talking about... he can't flamingo step like this, but Beck is the one with the huge flamingo step. I misspoke. What I wanted to talk about is, of course, what we see all Hwoarang players do, and it's the flamingo bullshit. This is very steppable, mostly. From both flamingos, he can do this, a homing move. That will knock you down and do a chunk of damage, but it won't launch you. From his right flamingo, he has this move, which is only -12, I think it is, on block. It's a mid-launcher. It does a chunk of damage, and it tracks quite well, although you can step it, but it tracks quite well. So that's kind of scary. When he's in his left flamingo, I just step all day. But when in his right flamingo stance, I'm a bit more careful, just because of that move. And both of his snake edges from flamingo can be stepped both sides, sidewalk them. So sidewalking Hwoarang to the right, in my opinion, is a good thing to do. You can see Hwoarangs do this, for example, and you can easily interrupt between these kicks, and of course it's just very steppable. Very steppable. But he's going to realign, so you have to step one kick and punish. And if a Hwoarang player, you know, spams this kind of stuff, you know, a lot of, well, I mean, average Hwoarangs like to do that. Even on hit, you can sidewalk here. But of course, it's kind of scary because that's a natural combo. You know, in Tekken 6, this wasn't a natural combo, but for TTT2, they buffed this and made, if that low hit connects, you have to hit the high. And of course, this had Hwoarang jump in tears because it's so strong. It's a quick low, but leaves him in here a frame advantage, where if he does a quick attack after that, there's no way you can step. So you have to be kind of careful after the down 3-4. But if you're facing a Hwoarang that just loves to do, I'm going to do several in a row, which I see all the time, you can just step this very easily, both sides. Even on hits. Step and punish. And I feel like mostly when Hwoarang is in his left flamingo, you can step most of the stuff easily. So flamingo is weak versus step. It's very weak. But we're going to talk more about the options later. But yeah, I've talked a bit about down 3-4. And of course, this is something you want to be on the lookout for. And of course, if you duck the first hit, just launch him immediately. Average or beginner Hwoarang players like to do this move a lot, so I like to duck a lot against those players and just throw this out, twin pistons or well, whatever launcher to punish that. But of course, yeah, you have to be on the lookout if you eat down 3-4 on a hit, you know. There's no way I can step in between here, I'm just going to get launched. So here you have to respect him. I usually they go back 3 there. You can punish that. It's -12, I believe. Or maybe it's -13. Oh. Yeah, it's at least -13. Oh my god, it's -14. Oh my god, I didn't notice myself. Oh, bug? Did I just run into a practice mode bug where it doesn't record? Holy shit, yeah, I can electric that. So it's great that I'm making this guide because I'm learning myself. So okay. Oh my god, it's even minus 15. Okay. Okay, I mean honestly, I'm a bit ashamed that I'm learning this now. But okay, so. Okay, that move is launch punishable. That's just epic. I mean, I actually thought it was minus 12. So, but I guess it has to be that punishable because it's got fairly good tracking. But okay, really happy I learned this now. That's crazy. I'm speechless. I thought it was minus 12. Woo! Okay, sick. So okay, that move is very punishable. And usually, what do they go for? They go for bat, or they go for the snake edge, which you can see on reaction. So yeah. And of course, I want to cover this option, down 3-4 into down 4-4. So here, that does not jail on hit. So even if I get hit by the down 4, I can duck. And I always duck this move, even though you know there's a variation there where he can do a mid option. 27 damage knockdown. I feel like ducking here makes the risk reward in my favor. Like, if he does the high option, I get a launch. If I get the mid option, he doesn't get a launch. He just gets a knockdown. So I like to duck here. But if your player starts spamming the mid option all the time, of course, you want to block that. And of course, yeah. Yeah, I just feel like that's the way to go. Duck. In case he starts doing the mid move all the time. So yeah, I think that covers that, and he has a fast. Hwoarang's down for 2 is a great move, but you won't see. That's a move that more experienced players use. Usually average Hwoarangs go with back 3, even though it's very punishable, but it's very safe, so you have to be on the lookout for it. But back 3 is minus 15, so yeah, it's an quite easy launch punish. And I fucked it. And I fucked it up again. So quite an easy launch punish. If you can't electric, go for down forward 1-2, or down forward 2 if your character has that. So very punishable. And of course, the beginner classic move, forward 4-3 from right foot forward. So what's special about this move? Hoop, hoop, hoop. If you block this move, you will have a guaranteed to back 4. So if you block this, this is guaranteed, and at the wall, that's a 44 damage wall splat. So whenever you see this move, you have to learn to block first hit and duck the second hit. It's quite slow. I'm really bad at doing this. I'm starting lately to adapt to this, but you have to duck the second hit. But when you do, Hwoarang is super punishable. I mean, he recovers for 5 years. Oh, I can even do that, you know. That can be done, you know. I can duck and do a slow jump pop kick. So he's... Oh my god, I have to do the cool punish. So Hwoarang is just super punishable here, but you have to remember to duck like that. So that's how we get around that move. And Hwoarang has from both of his flamingos, he has a snake edge. It's very steppable. Oh my god, my god. Okay. So yeah, on hit here, he has a lot of frame advantage. So it can be hard to step, but it is steppable. And as you can see, it's steppable in both directions. So I feel like the scariest option, I mean, when he's in his left flamingo, I just step that all day, in my opinion. And when he's in his right foot flamingo, the back three is kind of scary, but it's evidently launch punishable. But his snake edge can be stepped. So good stuff. And beginner Hwoarangs also love to do this. You've probably seen this. And they mix that up with this. the misinput. Okay, sweet. They mix those two. So now I have both of those two recorded. Let's see how I do. That's safe. Safe, I can't punish. Safe. I'm sorry, am I retarded? Didn't I just record that? Okay, sweet. So what I'm trying to show here is that I'm going to be able to block that on reaction. And it's very unsafe. The sweep is slower than the mid option, so hold back until you see him duck. Okay, so I fucked up. It's honestly not that hard. I'm playing in a very awkward angle to the TV. It's very slanted, and that's why I fucked up. Otherwise, I would never fuck up. You guys know this. Yeah, okay. So it's just not that hard. Of course, with lag, it's annoying, but just remember that the low option there is very punishable. And we see this a lot. Let's see. While running free. And again, it's a very steppable move. Hwoarang has got a lot of very steppable moves. We'll just step that. And this move is also interesting. So a quick low crush pressure tool, it's -10, so we can 1-1-2 this. If we don't fuck it up like that. And of course he can add a final kick, but that makes the whole thing -13. So I can get on for 4-4. Or an easy back 1-2. But that's just usually not a good move to throw out as pressure. I know some Hwoarang players like to punish with that due to its speed and range. And you might see them do this. One of Hwoarang's homing moves. Down foot for free. It's a natural combo, does a good chunk of damage. Try to learn and recognize the first hit there. And usually they spam that. I've seen a lot of Hwoarang players spam this, not knowing that it's duckable. So block, duck, bam, bam, launch. It's completely safe on block. So you gotta duck it. And then we have this move, which we see a lot of beginner Hwoarangs. Oh, not that move. This move is quite interesting. That was a bit slow in recovery. Okay, we'll do that. if you time it well, you're going to block the whole thing. But it's quite easy to hold duck too early, and then one of the hits will connect. But if you block properly, you can block the whole thing. And if you block the whole thing, I just usually retaliate, because it's going to take a while for Hwoarang to recover from that jump. You know, so I usually try to interrupt. And he can, of course, do only 2 kicks and go into Flamingo, so you're going to have to feel your opponent out here quite a bit. But worth noting is that even if the first 2 hits connect, you see I'm holding forward, I can block the last hit. But I can't low parry, even on block here, the last hit. Can't do it. Only on whip. So even if it connects, you can hold back and try to interrupt him. But of course, he can do only 2 kicks into Flamingo, so you have to feel out your opponent here. And this move, you have to learn to recognize. It's a move that's really bad to throw out, but I see a lot of Hwoarangs do this, and it's just really bad. I recognize this every time, and of course it's the second hit is duckable, so I usually just launch them. So learn to recognize that first kick. And of course down 4-4, same thing, yep. Another move that beginner and intermediate Hwoarangs use, even though they shouldn't. Learn to recognize the first hit and duck. Also duckable even on hit. Oh. Down back 3 is a pretty decent low Hwoarang has. It does a chunk of damage, and it's got a lot of crushing, you know, it crushes highs really well. On hit, on block, -13. So yeah, you get a decent punish, a chunk of damage. And you will often see Hwoarang players even try to pressure with this. They go down back 3 into while standing 4-4, for example. And you can interrupt this even on hit. It doesn't have that good frames, you know. So if I jab here, even on hit, I can interrupt the tsunamis if I'm not doing it badly. So we can interrupt here. So the frames are not that good on this move. So keep that in mind. And then I wanted to talk a bit about down back 4-4, which on counter hit is a natural combo, but once again, the second hit is high, and even on hit, we can duck and punish Hwoarang. So there are a lot of moves that Hwoarang has that beginner players like to use, but they are just not that good, you know. If you know what to do, duck at the right moment, they are very punishable. Hwoarang is quite weak against stepping, and as I said, his panic moves aren't that good. So if you pressure Hwoarang in return, you're going to see a lot of rewards, in my opinion. But of course, it's another thing to face a really good Hwoarang player. So pressure Hwoarang, step him a lot. In my opinion, his right foot Flamingo is scarier due to back 3, but now we learned, and I learned as well, I'm a scrub. We all knew that it's launch punishable, and that makes me really happy knowing that I can launch them there. Good shit. Step Hwoarang, know when to duck Hwoarang, and pressure Hwoarang. And again, if you're facing an average Hwoarang, you can usually get away with doing launch punishable sweeps. So utilize that, spam that shit. And only if you see him like doing crouch cancel down for 2 or this hop kick here. But that's going to be a very good Hwoarang player. That's not going to be your average Hwoarang player. I just hope you learned something. I learned something. This is -15. Awesome. So thanks for watching this video. Yeah, I just hope you learned something, and yeah, take care everyone.